What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video, and my goodness, you are in for a treat, because it's not my ugly mug or my dulcet tone you're hearing in this video. No, today it's my good friend and yours, Anakin B. Anakin B has produced some of the best content on the Average Dad 2 channel, including this ultimate camera battle video you're about to see. But this video deserves all the attention, eyes, ears possible. So I am releasing it on the Average Dad main channel, the one you're watching right now, and the Average Dad 2 channel. Now, if you haven't already, please show some love to the second channel. This is a community channel. We've got contributions from Anakin, Josh, Gary, James, myself. We are passionate about tech, and as you're about to see, Anakin is passionate about phones and cameras. So show some love to Anakin on his main Beyblade channel, the Average Dad 2 channel, my main channel, and without further ado, let's go.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Average Dad 2 channel with your boy Anakin. In today's video, we're doing the craziest comparisons with these beautiful cameras on these beautiful foldable phones. Yes, the ultimate foldable phone camera showdown is about to take place, including the Google Pixel 10 Pro Fold, a phone that just came out, and a phone that basically came out last year but also came out this year. All of these phones basically came out this year. The global Huawei Mate XT. The Huawei Mate XT has a 50 megapixel main sensor with a 12 megapixel ultra wide and a 12 megapixel telephoto. As for the Honor Magic V5, you have a 64 megapixel zoom, a 50 megapixel main, and a 50 megapixel ultra wide. The beautiful Oppo Find N5 has a 50 megapixel main sensor, a 50 megapixel telephoto, and an 8 megapixel ultra wide. But I will say, this is the brightest flash I've ever had on any phone ever in my entire life. This phone flash is amazing. The Z Fold 7 has a 200 megapixel main sensor, which is awesome, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and then a 10 megapixel telephoto. Now, the Google Pixel 10 Pro Fold has a 48 megapixel main sensor with a 10.8 megapixel ultra wide and then a 10.5 megapixel telephoto. So we're going to get my honest opinion on whether these are good or not, and you get to see for yourself with the camera comparison. We're going to do some crazy photos and videos night and day, literally, so we can compare and just see who is the best out of all of these foldable phones. Let's go photo shoot. All right, we're going to be breaking this up into sections in camera modes. So we're starting off with the Huawei Mate XT with its beautiful 0.5x ultra wide. Man, this looks great. It's got plenty of detail. Even though it's only a 12 megapixel, it looks great. And now for the 1x, the colors looked so accurate to real life, and the dynamic range is on point along with the sharpness. It's not over sharpened or oversaturated. It looks great. And now on to the 2x, it is cropping into that 1x main sensor, which is 50 megapixels, so it looks great. Colors still staying very true to life. Now we're jumping to that 5x at 121 millimeters for this camera. Man, it looks crazy. It looks good, keeping very similar color accuracy like the main lens had, and really sharp details at 5x because it's now switching to that optical lens. Here we're at 10x, and you can see it's starting to get a little less sharpened, but up here at the trees, it's not terrible. It's definitely still a usable 10x, but man, when you jump to 50x, yeah, hey, you can see some detail, but yeah, not the greatest. Okay, and boom, the Honor Magic V5, a completely different color. on this photo. This is the ultra wide, so it's looking crazy. And once again, a good amount of detail on this photo as well. Switching over to that 1X, you can see, man, the colors, it's definitely more vibrant than the Huawei Mate XT was. It's more vibrant. The colors are more poppy. I think everything's a little sharpened a little too much, just a little. Here's the 2X using the main sensor cropping in. Looks really good after the processing. The grass is still pretty sharp and the trees are very sharp as well. But then you switch to the telephoto. We're at 5X right here, but the colors look way different now. So not keeping the same colors. It's yeah, not really looking the greatest in terms of colors. It's definitely oversaturated, but it is very detailed. It looks decent. Jumping over to 10X, you can see it's not a huge loss in detail. It is a 64 megapixel telephoto, so it's doing really good. And then you can, of course, go to 50X, and it does look a little more detailed than the XT, but still not the greatest. Of course, these aren't going to be insanely detailed at 50 times zoom, but it does look good. It does look good. Now jumping over to the Oppo Find N5 using Hasselblad's collaboration. Always I've noticed that the colors on photos look a little orange to me, and you'll see more on that later. But yeah, you can see it's definitely orange compared to the rest. This is the ultra wide, and it is also that 8 megapixel. So it's not the greatest, probably the worst so far out of the 3 that I've shown you so far. Going to the 1X, it is still a little orange tinted compared to the rest, but it's a lot more detail than before. It looks pretty good. Jumping to that 2X, it looks fantastic. Still a little too orange tinted for me, but it looks great. Very good detail. Now to 5X, we are using the telephoto, and it looks pretty good. It's still orange tinted a little bit. I don't know what's going on with them. Here at 10X, there is so much detail. Oppo's zoom mixed with that AI, man, it looks really good, really highly detailed. Jumping over to 50X, you can see it's not a lot better than the others, but it is pretty good. Now you'll notice there's no watermark on this one because Google, you know, the camera phone, a lot of people claim, really good camera, doesn't even let you put a watermark on their photos in the dedicated camera app. So the photos you see with no watermark, just know that they are from the Google Pixel 10 Pro Fold. So this is the ultra wide, and it is keeping insanely good color accuracy. You can zoom in and see it's decently sharp. I've seen better. I do think this is probably the widest out of all of them. Here on the 1X, it looks almost perfect. I'm not kidding. The camera is really good on the Google Pixel. I just don't like the user interface on the camera app itself. But dude, these 1X shots came out great. Here's the 2X cropping in from that main sensor, looking pretty good. Not a huge loss in detail, but definitely not the best. It does look pretty good though. I wouldn't complain. Jumping to 5X, you can see it does look pretty good. It is less sharp than the Oppo's 5X, which is not really understandable because the telephoto is a optical 5X telephoto on this Google Pixel 10 Pro Fold. So I don't know why it's not looking that good, but it really doesn't look that good sharpness wise. But when you go to 10X, some of that AI kicks in, and man, yeah, it's a lot sharper at this point. Still nothing crazy, but yeah, definitely a lot sharper. And then it maxes out at 30X. So this is what we have. And it doesn't look terrible. It's definitely not the best, but it looks decent, that's for sure. Now, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 gave me that watermark. So we're just going to stick with it. There's no other better option. You can't get the millimeters and the time and all that. So we'll just stick with this one. But yeah, pretty wide, decently wide. The colors do look pretty good, but when you zoom into these trees right here and these leaves, the separation from the sky and the leaves themselves is a little sharp. It looks a little sharp, processed maybe. It is just a 12 megapixel ultra wide, so I don't know, you wouldn't expect a whole lot. Samsung's cameras aren't the best on their foldables. Finally though, they did upgrade that main sensor to a 200 megapixel, and you can see it, man. Look at these details. It's so much sharper and it looks really good in my opinion. It does look really good. Here's a 2x cropping in from that main sensor. It looks pretty good. I really have not much to say about this. It doesn't look terrible. But then you go to 3x and yeah, it's definitely not the best. It is a 10 megapixel 3x telephoto, so yeah, not the best. But when you do zoom in a little more, the processing on Samsung's phones are pretty good, and it kind of cleans up a little bit more at 10x. But then we jump to the max zoom on this phone, which is 30 times zoom, and yeah, that's not very usable. All right, now we are on macro shots, and dang, the color accuracy on the Huawei Mate X-T is phenomenal, and it is so sharp. Just a little soft on the corners, but that's what you should get with a macro shot. But yeah, so much detail still. It looks amazing. Moving on to the Honor Magic V5, you can see that it's very clearly overexposed, and I think if the exposure was brought down just a little, this would look better than the Huawei Mate X-T. And jumping to the Oppo Find N5, goodness, very orange again with that Hasselblad collaboration. Remember, this is a macro shot with the ultra wide, and it's using that 8 megapixel camera. It's a little grainy, but you do have tele macro using that telephoto lens, and dang, this is good. It's not too orange, it's very detailed, and it's got amazing, nice, natural bokeh. I think it looks amazing. Now, the Honor Magic V5 also has tele macro, but it again is a little overexposed in my opinion. Other than that, the details they're there. Now, the Google Pixel 10 Pro Fold, this is as close as I could get. It did not let me go all the way down to that rock. I don't really know if there really is a macro mode for the phone, but this is the closest I could get, and it's got some detail, but it's definitely not the best. This is also pretty grainy as well. Now, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 looks pretty good overall. I think it's a good balance of everything, but you can see it's pretty grainy right there. Obviously, that's not in focus, but even what is in focus is just not very sharp, and it's a little overexposed. Moving on to the selfie camera, this is amazing color accuracy on the Huawei Mate X-T. Good detail also, like look at that. That's really good and very passable. And once again, with the Honor Magic V5, look how overexposed this photo is. Other than the overexposure, once again, I think the details there, it's just not better than the XT, that's for sure. Oppo's camera bringing in that orange tint again to the photo, and you can see the detail isn't really there. I think it is, if I'm not wrong, I think it's the same camera, the selfie camera, as the 8 megapixel ultra wide on the back of the phone. So yeah, it's meh, it's passable. It is definitely the widest out of all of them. Now, the Z Fold 7 is also overexposed in my opinion. You can see the sky back there is just white. Even the tree itself is too exposed, but other than that, it's got okay detail. It's passable, but not the best. But man, the Google Pixel 10 Pro Fold. Look at this selfie camera. Let's just zoom in. Look at the detail. This is like right next to that XT's selfie shot. It looks amazing and no overexposure. It's got a darker color going on that isn't terrible. I think it looks really good. All right, now we are taking a look at dynamic range with the Huawei Mate X-T looking fantastic. I can't stress it enough. The color accuracy on this phone is amazing. The Honor Magic V5 makes it really oversaturated, has a pretty lens flare, but overall the detail is very nice. The shadows are cranked up. Oppo bringing that orange tint over to this photo as well. It looks pretty good still. There's plenty plenty of detail. It's just pretty orange. Now, Samsung loses a lot of detail in the center with the sun blaring right at it, but other than that, it's a little oversaturated. Not terrible though, it's decent. Google is bringing a brown tint to the photo, which was not there in real life. It makes it look a little more fall than in real life did. But other than that, it's plenty of sharpness. It looks good. Now we're checking portrait mode with a difficult subject. So this is literally a dead tree branch, and I think the Huawei nailed this. If you zoom in, look at this. I don't know how, but this image detection is amazing. I don't know if I've ever seen anything better. Now the Honor Magic V5 cranked up that background blur, so I guess it kind of made it harder for it to detect the edging, but overall this looks pretty good. Now Oppo still bringing over that really orange tint, but also kind of missed this branch right here, or twig, and yeah, it didn't do an amazing job. But remember, this is a very difficult subject. Samsung got it pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. This might be second to the best on this one. It's pretty good. Now the Pixel 10 Pro Fold just said never mind to a portrait mode and just took a photo. I think it looks like, honestly, an iPhone 4 took this. It does not look good at all. Still bringing over that brown tint to this photo. I want to do something you don't get the chance to see a lot: shutter speed. Yeah. This is how fast each take photos, and I think they're all about the same, honestly, so I'll just let you watch. Now I'm testing how fast each phone opens their dedicated camera apps, and yeah, that was kind of slow, honestly. Honor Magic V5 nailed that one. Oppo nailed that as well. Samsung's took a little longer than the two that we just did, and once again, there's Google being a little slow, but it's okay. This is the Huawei Mate XT. How is the stabilization? How is the audio? There is no HDR on the Huawei Mate XT. Let's do a little zoom smoothness. I think the colors look good. That there doesn't look too bad. This is the Honor Magic V5. How is the stabilization? I'm walking right now. How is the audio quality? I think the colors are oversaturated. I think that it is over sharpened, but definitely better than the V2 or V3 from Honor. Here's the zoom smoothness looking good. And we can go to the wide angle. This is the Oppo Find N5. The video quality has always been so good for the Oppo phones. I've never really had an issue with them. The zoom smoothness also is really good. It is the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7, and I can say they've totally stepped up how their video looks over the years. It really doesn't look too bad anymore. You are able to do 4K 60 HDR, which is awesome, something the Huawei cannot do. There's your zoom only to 12x because you're stuck with that really bad telephoto, and there's ultra wide. Not too bad, nice lens flare. This is the Google Pixel 10 Pro Fold. It literally cut me out of recording video to say, you have no internet connection. Like, why would you do that? But I think it looks pretty good. That's pretty oversaturated, but it does not let you do 4K 60 HDR recording on the Google. So there's a 5x zoom all the way up to 20x, and we can jump to that wide angle looking decent. Here is the Huawei Mate XT at night. How's the video? Stabilization, the microphone, golly. Yeah, not amazing, but of course it is at nighttime. Do a little zoom. Yeah, man, there's the wide angle. Yeah, goodness. Here is the Honor Magic V5. You can barely see anything. Yeah, I think you were able to see more with the Huawei Mate XT. Also, there's some really weird flickering. All of these phones are up to date on the latest software. So, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to be as fair as you can be here. Here's a zoom all the way to 10x. It is not switching to that telephoto. Here's the wide angle. Yeah, basically pitch black. Here is the Oppo Find N5. You can definitely see more than the V5. No flickering either. I think the video quality on the Oppo is very good. This is really good in my opinion. Oppo always, man, they always impress me with their video quality. Alright, this is the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7, and you can see a pretty good amount of stuff in here, to be honest. That 200 megapixel main sensor is really allowing a lot of light to come in. Let's do that zoom to the car. Yeah, really dark, and at the wide angle, really dark. But when you go to the zoom on the 1x, it looks pretty good, not too bad. And lastly, for nighttime video, we have the Google Pixel 10 Pro Fold. Yeah, can't really see a whole lot here. And yeah, it looks okay. Actually not terrible. Let's do that zoom. Kind of choppy. All the way to 20x. It is not switching lenses. And now we are in the wide angle where it does let you switch, but yeah, I don't really see much of anything. Here's some low light shots at different zoom lengths. I think Huawei's color accuracy maintained even in these dark conditions, and I think Oppo had the best zoom. I think Honor had the best detail, and the other two are they're good. They're decent. I'll let you watch. The Honor Magic V5 is for sale. DM me on WhatsApp. This is the QR code where you can contact me. Personally, I like the camera on the Huawei Mate XT. It's not by much, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you want any of these beautiful phones, you can go on the Average Dad Tech Store. The link is in the description. You get the best deals imported from wherever straight to you. I love it. And yeah, hey guys, thank you so much for watching. This was Anakin on the Average Dad 2 channel. This video was crazy. It was a lot. It was really a lot to make, but I appreciate you guys staying till the end. And hey, I'll see you in the next one.